morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you watched my video last week, then you know I purchased a serger. I'm so excited. I've been wanting one for a very long time. If you've been watching my channel, then you know I've mentioned it a bunch, especially when it comes to sewing clothing and just having nice closed seams, not having to worry about the clothing falling apart when I wash it. I'm very excited for all of that. So today we're gonna be testing it out. I have not messed with it at all. I did purchase some of these white spools. Still has the rainbow thread that it came with. So it's gonna be kind of a whole journey in itself, learning how to thread this machine. I've watched a couple videos. I've kind of looked at how they have it right now, and it looks kind of like a thread maze. So we're gonna tackle this first, then we'll get to my first sewing project. Pull this out. Definitely a little intimidating. I broke out the instruction manual for the threading. So I wonder if I should go ahead and just put all of these up. Okay, these go on here for the bigger ones. So it came with these, I don't even know, little cones. And I think these are used for bigger thread. Oh, okay, yeah, that is what that is. So yes, these are spool support. Okay. Threading the upper looper, which it says is this thread here.
What serger you are threading is you want to have your instruction manual. That is
Okay, then we got the pink one, which will come down here, over there. This will thread through the right.
go ahead and turn it on, and then you want to go ahead and run the machine for a little bit just to make sure we did it right.
Okay, moment of truth. I'm a little bit nervous. Turn it on. She says to grab it. Ooh, that'd be looking funky. Something is not right. Hopefully, third time's a charm. Crossing my fingers this works. And I'm actually just gonna go ahead and use a scrap fabric to test it. Okay, so we go there. Put that down. Okay, let's see what it does. It worked! Yay! Third time's a charm. That looks amazing. I cannot wait to test this out on actual clothing. I may have had it right the second time, but whenever you're just testing the thread without the scrap fabric, it looks all kinds of wonky. Like I didn't really know what I was looking for, so it just looks like it's all tangled up and it's just a complete mess. But using the actual fabric test, it looks awesome, and yeah, I can't wait to test this out on a top. So I know some people who actually don't use a sewing machine, just use the serger for clothing, or other people who go ahead and do a regular stitch with the sewing machine and then finish off the seam with the serger, which I'm leaning more towards that, just to make sure all the fabric pieces are held together before I then go in and actually finish the raw edge. So let me know what you do. Do you use the sewing machine and then finish it off with the serger, or do you just completely skip the sewing machine and just use the serger slash overlocker when making clothing? So let's go ahead and pick out some fabric and cut out a pattern to try this on an actual top. Okay, instead of actually using the knit, I think we may test out these cotton bed sheets I got in my last video. That way we can just try and make a top from one of the pillowcases and not have to waste the knit, because I'm planning a whole like sewing cozy lounge sets with the knits. So let's try and make a top with this fabric. I'm gonna go ahead and iron it out, and then we'll figure out what I want to make with this pillowcase. Because it is starting to get pretty warm here, I figured making a halter top would be really cute. Wanted to do some alterations to the green gingham one I made in a few videos back. So this would be the perfect project to use this pillowcase as well as test out the serger. So we're gonna wait for my iron to heat up. I need to make sure it's on cotton, and then we'll iron this out and cut out the pattern. So this bedsheet set was from TJ Maxx. Ross also had a lot of really cute ones for spring. So if you're looking for some really great ways to repurpose fabric, highly recommend going to your local discounted department stores. Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, all of those. In my last video, I went thrift shopping, went to some antique stores, and after doing all of that, I can really say this is a great deal with the amount of fabric you're getting. Plus, this one is 100% cotton, which is really nice. And they all have the stamp for a standard 100. So they've been tested for harmful chemicals since they are going to be close to your skin. So bed sheets are a great alternative for sewing fabric. We'll get this one all ironed out, and then the pattern I'm going to be using is one that I did purchase from Etsy. As I mentioned, I did make this pattern before in a video, but there were a few things I wanted to do differently, like make the back straps longer, make the side, because the original pattern comes to like a point, and I kind of wanted to test it to go down the sides instead of coming to a point. So we're gonna try that with this. The pattern that I'm using is the Nova top from Sew Studio. This is from Etsy. And what I'm gonna do first is actually go ahead and just cut these seams around the pillowcase. That way I don't forget to do that and then have a seam running down the center of my top. Okay, and then I'm also going to go ahead and cut this portion of the pillowcase off. Then I can potentially use that for the straps. Okay, I'm going to undo this and then fold this in half long ways. Hopefully, perfect, okay. And if you're curious, this pillowcase is by the brand Shabby Chic, established in 1989, 100% cotton. Place on the fold, so we're gonna place it as far down as I can go on this fold. As I mentioned, I want to do a straight hem on the bottom. So we're gonna cut this straight across, and then we'll line it up here. This is where the back tie will be attached. And then this will all stay the same. Then I can go in here, and because I'm doing that, I think I can go a little bit shorter because I think that point, let me look at the picture of me wearing it. So you see here, the halter I made, the point comes down a little bit far. So I think I could go in maybe like 1.5 inches. And then you see how my sides are poking out? I want it to be straight down the sides. That way you don't see that. It is really cute, but I'm a little self-conscious. So I think I'm going to just try and straighten that out. Then all that's like open is the back, and then you'll have the cute little ties. I'm gonna move that up, that way I don't cut my pattern off. Okay, we'll save that for straps. All right, then all I need to do is just round the top. I have my plain white cotton. So go ahead and unfold it. I need to order some more of these chipboards for organizing all the rest of the fabric. As you saw, it's all just stacked up there, and I really love just using chipboard to like create your own little bolts and then organize it in one of these cubicles. I got that from Target, and it just is so nice for organizing fabric. I do want to do a whole like craft and sewing room tour very soon. So let me know if you want to see that. And I'll show you every nook and cranny, all my favorite crafting things, how I have all my sewing materials organized, all of that. So I was thinking about potentially changing the, sorry about the glare, the neckline here instead of doing the bunching with the halter strap. But I think I'm just gonna leave that because I don't want to mess up the edges here around my bust. I think we'll keep the bunching. I think it looks fine and it will look hopefully even better when I have it on the right way. So we are gonna leave that, but I'm gonna go ahead and put these pieces to the side and start working on the straps. And I actually want to make both of these longer because I really want these straps on the back to be a focal point and just have some really cute bows. So I'm gonna make this one same width, but quite a bit longer. That way I can create a nice pretty bow in the back. And then I also want the necktie to be longer. I have all my pieces. So we have my back straps, which these are going to be a lot longer than the original ones, which hopefully I can create a nice, big, pretty bow in the back. So many of you really love the apron I made in my last video, which makes me so happy, especially because that was just a total wing it, no pattern, no tutorial. I just kind of based it off that photo I showed you all, and I just think it turned out so cute. Now, could I replicate it? Not sure. I should have wrote down all of the measurements I used, but of course I did not. But I'm very happy with how that came out. And I really want to do more sewing projects like that where I just kind of wing it. I've seen a ton of people who just use their regular, like everyday clothing that already fits them really well, kind of as their pattern. They just lay that out and then cut around it, leaving enough space for the seam allowance. And I want to try that. So for the halter strap, I'm going to fold it in half, good sides facing. Go ahead and iron that out. Okay, halter strap is ready to be sewn and then pulled right side out. I'm gonna go ahead and prep the back ties as well. Sew down from the fold and go all the way, and then just leave a small opening at this side here that we can turn it right side out. Definitely a little more crowded over here, but unfortunately I cannot fit a longer table and then still be able to get in the closet. So it's just what I'm gonna have to work with for now. Look at that little sweetie pie. So as I was working on the halter strap, I was thinking, what if I sew it front side facing, or just like sew it down and then flip it up and just have it connected? We may try that instead of doing the like loop in and bunched. We'll see how that could possibly look. So I feel like I would like that a little bit better, but I need to turn everything right side out. Luckily the back belt is pretty big, so it won't be as hard to turn right side out as the small halter strap. I'm just kind of pulling it through the hole that I left at the very end. And then we'll iron it all out so the opening's closed, and then be ready to attach all of the straps to the front pieces. As I mentioned, this pattern is so easy. So if you end up liking the final result, I will have the pattern linked down below so you could try it out for yourself. Okay, so this is what I was thinking about potentially trying, is clipping this to the top like that, sewing right along here as close as I can get, and then it will flip up and be attached. My only concern is obviously this still end up being like too big and just not fitting correctly, since this pattern is made for it to kind of bunch in like that. We'll think about it because this is the last step anyways, so we'll hold off on that. I'm a little nervous because I don't want to mess up everything we just did. I'm kind of wondering, should I go ahead and finish this edge and then hem it? Because that would make it a little bit easier. Maybe I should, because I feel like that's how it is on most clothing. You have like the nice stitching at the bottom. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to serge the bottom and then hem it. So I just tried it on. Unfortunately, this part here did not work how I was wanting. I think for it to look decent, I'm gonna have to end up hemming it a lot and just making it pretty short, because that doesn't look right. Okay, it's a little funky right now, so unfortunately this is not gonna work. So I'm going to seam rip it and just do it as the original pattern where it's like bunched up here, and then we can still tie it, because it's, I think I would have had to come in a lot for it to not then have like too much fabric in the front. And also you can see this is coming down pretty far and looks a little, I don't know, it looks a little weird. So I'm kind of thinking that I'm gonna bring this in and hem it to about there. So then it will sit right at my like belt line here. And I feel like maybe that looks a little bit better than having this be like super long. So unfortunately, I just had to cut that completely off of the top. I just could not get it to come off. So I have a new strap. I've already sewed it. I just need to turn it right side out. And then hopefully I can make this top work. Unfortunately, my alterations did not turn out. I think it's adorable for spring and summer, especially with how hot it gets in Oklahoma. This is gonna be perfect. I do wish I would have made the back straps even longer. That way I could create like a nice big bow in the back. So on my next one, because I do definitely want to make a bunch of these, I'm gonna make that even longer. I wanna try going in even more on the sides here. That way my sides aren't exposed, and then making the back bow bigger. But other than that, I think it turned out really cute, and it's made from a pillowcase. So how cool is that? So that's gonna be it for today's video. I know we only made one item, but I really just wanted to test out the serger and show you all and kind of just go through the motions together on testing that out. But I want to do my cozy lounge set video very soon, so we'll be playing with the serger a bunch in that video. But I hope you enjoyed it. I think this turned out very cute. I highly recommend trying this pattern. It's really so easy, and you can customize it in so many different ways on how you want. So the next one, I do want to do some more alterations, but How cute and perfect is this for spring and summer, especially with how hot it gets in my state of Oklahoma. I'll be wearing this all the time. I can't wait to make even more. So I hope you enjoyed watching me try serger for the first time, and I'll see you all in the next video very soon. Bye.